Hey, how y'all doing out there in YouTube land? This is Stiletto coming at you from the Wild Wild West. Today we got a video for Requiscat and Pace, a requested video. He wanted to know how I tune my tiger claw. He said he was having some problems opening and closing it. I'm assuming that he doesn't have any kind of disabilities, because I can see how that can hinder somebody. But basically it's just very simple. Just take it apart and I clean up the washers, lube and grease everything, put it back together. It's pretty simple. I don't really do a whole lot to it. I tune the pivot, but anyway, here's how mine opens. It also has the wave plate where you can wave it out your pocket. It has the Andrew Demko wave plate on it. Mine's been polished and gone through, so it's not like a really stock one. My stock ones are the plain edges. This is my black Talon too. I also like this one. The reason why I like this one because it has a lot of reach. I don't like putting my finger in here because somebody can grab it or whatever and twist it and maybe break your finger. I sort of worry about that. But I do like the rings for drawing the knife out of my pocket. It makes it easier to draw from your pocket. That's what I like about the rings. I'm not a karambit person, so I don't use things like karambits. What I like these for is like for self-defense. For self-defense, when you just want to injure somebody, like maybe cut a tendon so they can't chase after you, like cut an ankle tendon or something like that. If you're scrapping with somebody and they're fixing to do you in or whatever, and you need to get away from them, or they're just a violent attacker and you just want to get away from them, these types of tools I think are good for disabling people. And that's what I'm all about. I don't want to kill anybody or do anything like that. That's not my form of that's not the way I think of self-defense. I think of self-defense as disabling somebody so you can get away from them, so they can't chase after you. That's where that's where my mindset is. But anyway, let's get into this. Absolutely love both of these blades. There's all sorts of ways you can open it. He's talking about opening it fast. There's all sorts of ways you can open these things. Beautiful knives. Absolutely love these. But anyway, let's tear it apart. Let's get busy. Let me show you what I do. I never take apart this side. I take apart the other side. The other side has this scale has a D shape for it for the pivot. This side has a D shaped thing for it so the pivot can go through. So I always like to take it apart from the opposite side of that on any cold steel knife. Now there's Juno. You want to say hi, sweetie? What you doing, kiddo? Want to say hi? Yes, my girl. Yes, my girl. Requiscat and Pace wants us to make a video. I wonder if he has a kitty cat like you. Huh? Think he has a kitty cat like you? All right, sweetie. Let's get busy with it. Don't jump up on the table, kiddo, because I gotta have a lot of parts here. One thing about these, though, they do have a lot of screws. You got to remember where the screws, because they're like different sizes. And you don't want to put a long screw in a place where a short screw is supposed to go, because when you close your blade, the blade might hit it. So it's sort of one thing you sort of have to pay attention to. Like this one, the shortest screw goes right here. And this hole right here, the bottom hole, where the opposite side is, where you put your pocket clip at. And the two long screws go back here. This one right here is a long screw also. You need a T10 and a T6 to do this. Let's see if I get it apart. Oh yeah, it came apart real nice and easy. This, you know, my washers aren't really messed up. I always, you know, pull maintenance on this knife because it's one of the knives I carry. Don't carry it all the time, but I do carry it a lot. Carry it whenever I go to the gym. I consider it one of my self-defense folders. All right. Now, when you do this, you just need some wet sandpaper. This is 2500 grit. Let me show you what it is. Get the water off it. 2500 grit, wet sandpaper. You can get at your local hardware store. Either, you know, like Lowe's or Home Depot or Ace Hardware. They all carry wet sandpaper. Whichever is available in your area or whatever other kind of store you may have. I don't know if they're all over the United States. All over California. Those 3 stores. And just lightly polish. You're not pressing on this because you're not really trying to remove metal or anything. You just want to remove the tarnish. And get to a nice polish. It doesn't have to be a perfect polish. You don't have to every little bit of tarnish out of it. You just want a majority of it gone. This is probably good right here. This one's already been polished, you know, before. Now you want to get to look like that. I wish I had a dirty one to show you so you can see what the difference is. But this knife is one of my knives that I like a lot. This and the Black Talon. Knives I like a lot. These aren't safe queens. These are the ones that stay out in my rotation drawers. I have 2 rotation drawers. One I keep big blades in, and I keep these in the big blade drawer. Even though they're not the biggest blades. But my other rotation drawer is the one I use where I try to keep only knives I purchased for that year. And the other drawer has like a lot of older knives in it that I just really like a lot. That's a drawer that actually has a lot of knives I really like. Not ones I'm just trying out. They're ones I've already tried out. Let me clean the scales off too. Put everything fresh grease and stuff on them. I remember when these knives first came out, I was so excited about it. And then I tried to train myself how to use a karambit. I kept cutting myself all the time, so I gave up on that. Karambits are dangerous. They're more dangerous to you than they are to other people. If you're trying to do the karambit stuff, like Doug Makita, he's awesome. Oh, I didn't do the one step. Let me show you. Grease. First step, putting it back together. Get a little dab of grease on your finger. I use Militech 1 gun grease and Militech 1 oil. That's what I've always used. You can get it on eBay. And put a little dab of oil. Just got off work not too long ago, kind of tired. Another dab of oil. Now the blade goes on. No, sweetie, don't jump up here, sweetie. No, don't jump up here. Grandpa said no. Yes, my girl. Got too many parts all over the table, sweetie. Can't jump up here today. Juno loves being in videos. She's a video queen. All right. Same thing again, just lube your washers. This is a Teflon washer. Teflon washers always go against the blade on all cold steel knives. Then you do your bronze phosphorus washer. A little dab of oil. Another little dab of oil. I'm not afraid to use oil. I know a lot of people get afraid to use oil because they worry about dust and lint and stuff, but to me, it's more important to make sure your tool is lubed properly. But just like anything that's mechanical or anything that has metal to metal surfaces and things like that, it's always good to keep them lubed. They'll last a lot longer. And you just put the screws back in it. I like to put a little bit of Loctite on my pivot pin, pivot screw. Not a whole lot, just a little bit. I'll just get an empty on Loctite. Got any in here? Time for some more Loctite. There we go. Take a T10, screw it in. I screw all the way down until it gets tight, then I back it off like a quarter of a turn and put the rest of the screws in. You gotta remember how your screws go. That little stubby one goes right here. Because if you put a long screw in this, your blade will hit the screw. Just finger tight. Next screw. Same thing, just finger tight. Next screw. I never took down screws on knife screws in the handle because they're very small screws, and like this one's screwing into aluminum with steel screws, and you don't want to pull the threads. So you just do finger tight. I don't even use Loctite on them. They already come with Loctite on them. They don't come loose. It's not like the pivot. They'll stay tight. Finger tight. Okay, now all you gotta do is adjust your blade. Button everything up. Wipe off any excess oil or anything like that. Looks like it's already right where it needs to be. I like to loosen it up now. I put it to one side, and then I tighten until it comes center. Right about there. Blade's nice and tight. Might be a little bit too tight. That's okay. That's all there is to it. Yeah, it's a little bit too tight. I like a little bit looser. You just adjust it to what you like, your preference. There you go. That's the way I like it. That's all there is to it. There you go, buddy. Hope that helps. Just not a super long video. Just want to show you how to do it. That's what I do. That's why I call it Lube and Tune. Peace out. Stiletto.